Hello, good morning. Good morning from Wales. It's another beautiful sunny day. Patch is enjoying the weather. We've been having an amazing time. I hope you managed to catch that short clip of my son and I went on a zip wire. It's called Velocity, and it goes about 90 to 100 miles an hour, and it's something like a mile or a mile and a half, I'm not sure. It was very fast and a lot of fun, and if you watch the video, you can see me trying to attempt to roar like a dragon, yet that was pretty hard because the wind was being blown out of my mouth. So yeah, that was a really fun adventure yesterday, and also enjoyed for the last couple of nights doing some sky watching as well. I actually slept in this morning, or should I say I had a lie in, so a lion, which is great. Instead of getting up at 5 a.m, I got up about 7:30. I know, my crazy rock and roll lifestyle. I wanted to expand today on my message from my spirit guides, and this is in particular from my Earth Elemental and Andromedan Elemental guide. It's the same guide. Her name is Maya, and also my Mantis guide, my Mantis being guide, Marita. And they were showing me, first of all, that a nice big open heart is able to receive the ascension waves of this planet, or should I say the ascension waves that are flowing into this planet at this time so much easier. So if you're struggling at all with any ascension symptoms, this is often because, not always, but it can be dramatically helped by focusing on opening your heart. And what does that mean? Well, I do offer a range of different meditations, including on my free Spirit Guide Meditation Challenge. All these meditations really designed to help relax you, to help encourage you to create a safe space, and then to protect the space around you with your intention. There's nothing more important and nothing more powerful than your intention. And then to just gently soften and open your heart. So I often imagine it. I place my hand on my heart, take a deep breath in, and I imagine my heart just reaching up like petals of a rose, opening up to receive the energy of the sun. Patch does this thing where he sniffs, but he sticks his butt right out onto the edge of the road. So he fights me. He's always like, I want to sniff. So why would an open heart help you with the current ascension waves? Well, if you notice, there's two opposing forces being, placed upon you. One force is fear and shame and division and duality, and we see this in threats of war and division and inequality and greed. We see it in threats of poverty and losing your home or your finances. Just a whole broad range. It's a barrage of this fear energy being propagated across the world at this time. And it's really important to catch it. For example, there was a YouTube video yesterday that triggered me, which was about it was basically saying that all of the mobile phones in the UK, including parents and kids, would receive an alert message telling, and we don't really get those in the UK. I'm not even sure the system really works. And the video was saying, oh, you'll get this alert message to say that you need to prepare for war. And what was my heart's reaction to that? My heart was like, ah. Immediately felt my heart, respond, or should I say not respond, react, and just tighten, including my solar plexus, and all these things. You kind of go into this in that moment. Excuse me while I pick up Patch's present. Is that as you go into that experience, you can feel your heart, your heart chakra like tightening and closing up. And then your mind's kind of left a bit like, oh, what do I do? I mean, am I going to be at war? What happens with me and my family? And you start going through these kind of searching, destructive questions and challenges that you place upon yourself. So, yeah, I don't think any of this necessarily comes as a surprise to you so far, but I just want to give some like clear examples, because it is quite simple. And then the other opposing force, and you can argue, a wee friend of Patch, his global fan club. The other opposing force, and the good news is it's much more powerful, is the is that of love. And if you feel into what's going on across the universe, is answering our call, answering our needs, our desires, is Source's answer to all this, which is this, come Patch, is this Ascension energy. And the reason I describe it as Ascension waves is because that is their purpose. Their purpose is to, these are energetic waves beyond just waves. They also include codes, wisdom, DNA, activation messages and codes, and more. And these waves flow from our universal central sun into our galactic, our Milky Way central sun, and then into our own sun, and then also into our hearts and into the heart of our planet, Mother Gaia. We're all receiving, we're being bombarded with waves and sometimes storms of this energy. And if shout out to Stefan Burns, if you watch his channel or channels like his, you can see, and I love his scientific and also some of his more spiritual concepts and understandings, is that at the very heart, he's studying a lot of the symptoms about what are being manifested, and more physically, not just physically, right? There's energy, plasma, but what we're seeing is the sun really opening up. So the sun's heart chakra is opening up to finally now let through the full force, the full bandwidth of these ascension waves. And what's important about that is that as we open our hearts to receive it, we're receiving all of what we've been seeking. So all those times we felt in fear, we felt small and dimmed our lights, we felt afraid, we've hid in our homes and in our rooms, or even in our minds and in our addictions. Come on, Patch. This is the answer to that. This is the answer that we've been seeking. And as we open up our hearts, we allow more of this energy to gently flow into us. Now, at any time, whenever it feels too much, you can place your hand on your heart and say, Spirit guides, I would like a break from these ascension waves, from these upgrades at this time, please. I would like an hour off, a day off, a week off, whatever you choose, maybe just a night off. And that's really important. Let me just show you this view, it's so beautiful. It's really important because whilst we can't control the universe, right, we can control, because we get to choose what we receive. We get to choose what fear at one end of the scale and love towards the other end of the scale that we receive. And we also get to choose what we do with that energy. Do we block it? Do we kind of offload it? Do we shed it, regardless of its frequency? Because it is really, really easy, and I know this because I've been bouncing through some of these experiences as well, is we can also experience feeling like we're just being bombarded from all angles, right? It's like, oh, you're experiencing fear that's being pushed against you in this world, and you're also being asked to ascend at the same time. And oh, by the way, you're going to have ascension symptoms. And you know what? As a human, that feels like a lot. It feels like, oh wow, this is a tough journey. I'm not going to pretend it isn't, right? I'm not going to pretend, oh, it's so easy. Just open your heart. Now, I'm saying that a little bit mockingly. In all seriousness, it does get easier if you just let go, if you just open up your heart a bit more. And I must admit, this week has been a big experience for me in opening up my heart. And as we approach this beautiful valley here, you can just see that little green patch in front of us, and there's some cows at the top. This is the part of the view that I see from our holiday house. And all week, every day, I keep being shown these beautiful dragons flying down from this direction, down across the valley and then out to sea. And depending on the weather tonight, I might head down to the sea tonight and do some sky watching, as I've been doing that from the holiday house as well. And if it's nighttime, right, and outside is dark, and inside you got a light on, you can't really see through the windows, right? Light on the inside, dark on the outside. It just looks like this kind of pitch black, and often you see the reflection of the light. And I feel sometimes that's what we're doing. We're kind of looking from this kind of noisy, busy, energy-filled inside of us out into the world. And so when either we turn off the light on the inside of our house and look out the window into the darkness, it becomes much more balanced and easy to see. Or even better, we'll be a bit brave and step outside of our homes into the darkness outside. But when we do this, it feels like there's much less noise, there's much less kind of background interference, and everything's so much quieter and easier. So I stumbled across the secret passage patch. Let's go. Look at these beautiful flowers. The question is, will Patch just keep stopping in front of me? Yes, he will. Come on, Patch. It's so hard taking random Patch down this little lane. Oh, it's so cool. Look at this. So yeah, it's a big thing, right? It's a big thing in our journeys, just to explore different ways to feel into what feels right for you. What feels right in terms of opening your heart. How much are you happy to open up and receive? Looking after yourself, your self-care, self-love, taking walks in nature, taking a vacation. These are all the things that I know it might sometimes feel counterintuitive. In this low bush. But what's important to know is that the more we spend time in our self-care and our self-love, the more we're able to receive abundance. And this is another, big theme for many of us. A lot of us are feeling like, oh, I have to stay in fear because, this is our minds sometimes telling us this, right? It's like our minds might say to us, oh, stay in fear, because if you stay in fear, then we'll just conform to the system, and because the system is telling us, governments or organizations or all these kind of different traditional third dimensional aspects of reality, and as you conform with that, you can feel, it can feel a bit safer, right? You feel like, oh, that's going to help me get my paycheck, it's going to help me get my salary, or start or run my business or whatever I'm doing. The reality is, this is part of the enslavement that we're being encouraged to, the fear enslavement that we're encouraged to stay within, because the opposite is true. It's that the more self-love, the more self-care we give ourselves, and I don't just mean go on vacation and then end up spending the whole time, in fear and worrying about things and worrying about whether you're still going to have a job to come home to, or if your business is going to still keep going, while you're on holiday. These are, what really happens is you're just being given an opportunity to, and the space to really see the shadow, the fear that exists within you, that always exists within you, regardless of whether you're on holiday or vacation or not. You're being invited to see it, to acknowledge it, to feel it as much as you're ready to, and then to, bring in your love, forgiveness, and thank it and release it, and then to take action if it feels right. Sometimes all it takes is just to be seen. One fear I had, especially last year in the first year of my business, was, I just started a business, and then I took a lot of holidays in the first few months because I could, and I knew it was good for me. And yet my shadows of lack were saying, Jon, you've got to invest in your business, you've got to constantly push, and you've got to do all these things, and that's what will make your business successful, because that's the patterns that had worked for me, or so I thought, in the past. And the reality was, really the lesson I'm being taught, just like this holiday for this last week, is, regardless of how your business is performing, it's your self-love, it's your self-care. You're the important one in this equation. You're the one, you're the heart that has to be looked after. And to allow those shadows to come up, and I must admit they came up a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe 4. And each time I just said, I see you, thanks for showing yourself, thanks for coming. And I asked a bit about what are the lessons I need to learn and to feel into. One shadow I've seen is, and it's triggered me quite a few times this week, is the number of my YouTube subscribers going down. And it feels so, what's the word, counter to the opposite of what I want. I want to be able to reach more people and help more people, not less. And so these experiences of a reduction in those numbers are definitely, in the first instance, triggering for me, because it feels counter to my mission to helping more people. And yet, I know what really happens is, I'll share a popular video, or I'll go on someone's channel, or some event will happen, and then more people will subscribe to me. More people, they'll go through bursts of subscribing, and then over time, either the algorithm, and I must admit, I think the YouTube algorithm is pretty aggressive. It's like, oh, they haven't interacted in like 10 minutes, and it unsubscribes people. I don't think so much of it's people directly doing it themselves. So I asked my guides about it. I said, what is the lesson I'm to learn here? And they said, Jon, it's about, shedding people that aren't in alignment with what you're sharing, with your frequency, and if you're too much in fear, likely you won't have even found this video. And if you've had some experiences of at least trying to open up your heart and trying to receive more love and abundance of this new world that you're co-creating, then these are experiences and frequencies that match the content of this video, and then also me and my other videos. And I must admit, in that respect, because the number of subscribers, yeah, it's definitely an important thing for me to pay attention to, but it seems to have very little direct correlation with my business, which I always thought was very surprising. I could lose subscribers in a month and earn more money than I've ever earned. So these things aren't directly coupled. So I won't let my fear directly couple them. I've also got a stone in my shoe, which is really annoying. The stone in my shoe. Maybe it's the energy, the trigger energy of a reduction in subscribers. But yeah, the other message my guides gave was that these numbers go up and down, come and go in waves, and just to allow that, not to cling on to it. One of the behaviors of lack is to cling to that kind of dragon's egg, to hide to be the dragon that's hiding in your cave with your claws gripped tightly around your golden egg, and doing everything you can to protect it. But it's really, you need to be outside and enjoying yourself, and living life, and this is better for you and the egg. And you never know, just like many aspects of our lives. Let me get this stone out, Patch. Patch, come here. Come here, Patch. Oh, Patch. Sorry. Well, at least the camera's facing the other way. Right, you stay here. Good boy. It's a lovely dog opposite. I don't want Patch to run over as I'm with one shoe on. So yeah, definitely this journey has taught me that the higher my vibration, the happier I am, the more joy I have. Just like being on holiday, doing the things that I love, spending time with my family, not working. All these things are just so helpful in cultivating my own vibration and helping me open up my heart. And every time I get triggered, every time I experience a new fear, never denying it, always seeing it for what it is, seeing how my initial reaction, my heart's reaction to it. Because I also feel in many respects where this isn't all just going to be over tomorrow. Either way, this is a journey, and some of this is a test. Some of this is a test to see how much fear can we not how much fear can we take, how much fear can we see, observe, acknowledge, and then, you know, consciously react, not just panic, panic, this whole world's screwed, panic, you know, not to panic, and instead do the opposite, you know, allow ourselves to have strong boundaries, clear intentions about what we really want in our lives, what we want in our partnerships, our friends, our homes, our jobs, our businesses, getting really crisp and clear about what we do want, and focusing all our energy on that. You know, this is why the opposing force of fear wants us closed up and in fear, because we go and hide in that cave. You know, how can we create or co-create a beautiful new world of love, equality, compassion, you know, forgiveness, of all these things that we want in our lives? How can we do that if we're in fear, for hiding in our little caves? You know, each of us separate, each of us hiding our little dragon eggs. So yeah, I definitely encourage you to reflect on some of these concepts. And I know that it's not easy, and each of us have our own unique journeys to go through. You know, in some respects, the awakening journey that I've chosen is helpful because it helps me learn how to, you know, see my enemy of fear, of, you know, the fear within me, to see what it really is, and to begin to learn how to fight it, you know, because I know that love is infinitely more powerful than fear. And yet it is definitely a journey, and I just want to hold space for anyone that's watching this video. If you made it all the way to almost the end as I walk down a busy road, just acknowledge that it's tough, right? It's a hard journey, and I think you're doing amazingly well. I know you're doing amazingly well. First of all, if you made it to the end of this video, you've definitely got, you know, a hunger and a desire to change what's happening within you, these responses to the outside stimuli of these two very powerful opposing forces of fear and love. And to know that a beautiful little feather just landed out of nowhere on the ground there. Yeah, to know that we all have a choice. We'll have a choice with every emotion that we feel. We'll have a choice about whether we, you know, I was going to say descend, whether we depart on our, you know, progress on our awakening journeys. There's no right or wrong. It just is. They're just choices. And I just encourage you to, you know, to keep going, to keep up your self-care, your self-love routines, your daily meditation practice. That's why I offer my meditations for free. Is, you know, the same ones I do every day. The same one I did this morning is because it's these free meditations that have underpinned the dramatic changes in my life and created at very least a life for me and my family that is far more joyful and abundant than I've ever had in the golden handcuffs, as my son put it, the golden handcuffs of my previous corporate job, or 26 years in software. And, you know, we don't only need to go into the kind of spiritual domains to earn money. You know, you just need to do the thing that you love the most, and on that journey explore lots of different things that you love, because somewhere out there is a version of you in a timeline that you've chosen, following your dream, you know, following your highest joy, experiencing things that you've never thought were possible, because that version of you has faced fears and been rewarded with, you know, continued activations of your superpowers, and it really, fully stepping into the whole of you. So as we have done a nice 30-minute walk with Patch, just want to say thank you so much for watching. I have been posting bits and pieces of content, so keep a lookout for the Hearts Aligned business mentoring video that I did with Chloe. This is a new version with all the artifacts of what we created during the time that I was mentoring her, and also to keep a lookout for the Dragon Light Language guided meditation. That was a huge amount of fun to create, and also lots of clips of me having adventures, such as the zip wire and boating fun. We'll see if there's more boating fun today. But yeah, just a lot of fun with the family, and of course Patch, who seemed very hot now in the sunshine. So yeah, please take good care of yourself. Keep a wonderful, open heart, and allow yourself to be the whole of you. Take care. Sending love from Wales.